I figure if I do a puppy video, I should do a chicken video. I haven't done one of those for a while. Some of my viewers are Sebastian fans. Here's Sebastian. You can see he's doing well. I think I hear the sheep back there. Or is that my neighbor's sheep? I don't know. Chicken's doing chicken things. My goal this autumn is to build a shelter that the chickens can take some cover if it gets super cold. Like we had that ice storm last year. We had a deep freeze around December 22nd, and then we had an ice storm in February. The ice storm wasn't too bad. It was near freezing. It was like 33 or 34 degrees, but the ice was building up on the trees and the branches are coming down. But that deep freeze we had in December, it got like down in the teens with wind, and that combination is bad for any animal. Even the cows, I think I moved them into the woods so they could take shelter from the wind. The chickens I didn't really have a good solution for. I think I had a tent at the time, but that wasn't enough. I'm planning on building a hard structure that in a pinch I can put a tarp over, and hopefully like they'll be able to at least get out of the wind. So they should be able to get through the worst of it without too much trauma. Do the same for the ducks. The ducks did pretty well with the cold, except for a few of them got really bad frostbite, and they're missing their toes. One of the Muscovy ducks I had to kill because his whole leg was frostbitten, and yeah, he wasn't going to survive. So yeah, so I'm going to try to get some shelter for these small animals. The dogs were fine on the deep freeze. Their coats are so thick, they're used to it. Some of the kids ask questions about how the animals survive storms, and I said, well, the animals have fur, right? And I think it's almost a childlike misunderstanding of animals and how animals behave and what they do. Animals, like we tend to do this thing where we think of animals as little humans, just really stupid humans, right? But they're not humans at all. Like we don't have thick coats of fur on our skin. We can only survive a very small range of temperature changes. But these chickens, like, they look fat, but there's a good like inch of feathers, and underneath those feathers there's these little tiny downy feathers that keep them warm. And chickens, their body heat's a lot higher. I think this rooster's not happy with me. So the chickens do just fine in the cold. They do just fine in the wind, as long as it's not too cold and too windy. They do have a little problem with wet. The ducks are fine with the wet. The sheep are fine with the wet. The cows, if they get muddy, their coats don't work very well. But the chickens, they need to stay dry. The dogs have a thick coat, and they can get wet on the outside. They'll be perfectly dry on the inside. You know, they look like they're not having a good day, but the truth is they're perfectly fine. Because they have two coats. They have a longer outside coat and a very soft inside coat. So yeah, so I'm just going to build a little shelter just to keep them out of the wind and the rain when it rains. I do like that they use the tree to go to bed at night. I think that's pretty safe. They get up there. They'll get up there 10, 12, 20, feet. And they'll come down in the morning. So it's funny because if I come here after sunset, there's no chickens. I'm like, oh no, my chickens are dead. No, they're just in the tree. All right, guys, have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.